Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Design District. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Design District, the home of the Miami Symphony Orchestra. Romel, Tarcisio, Paola, Evgenia, and Luis David are here with us tonight. They are members of the Miami Symphony, and we are very, very proud to have them playing with us in these chamber music events. Tonight we have something really different. And by the way, if you want, I don't think it's going to be over an hour, because most of you have things to do, so you'll have plenty of time to do all the schedules if you have it. Music and gravitational waves. Why this very odd title? Because we are playing on the 14th of March, a concert at the Moore Building right across, dedicated to Einstein, the mystery of genius. Albert Einstein discovered, or predicted rather, the gravitational waves 100 years ago. And only 5 years ago were actually discovered. Since I belong to this organization, Genius 100 Visions, and we are playing that concert, it's the second concert we play for them, second consecutive year on Einstein's birthday, March 14th, I thought it was very relevant to recognize him for something as concrete as this. And you may ask, what is the connection with music? There's a huge connection with music. In fact, I think with the time when we get more used to the fact that gravitational waves do exist, as Einstein predicted, we can find parallels with music which have to do with gravity, which in fact is the same thing, but we can understand even better why they go in waves and how they affect us. What you were hearing just now is music I wrote for Zaha Hadid for her apartment in London, and it can be played on its own like that, or it can be actually played with the orchestra or a small group. And the reason I put it in, because I know as soon as I put it on, you're going to relax, because that music is composed and actually structured to make you relax, but also aware. We're going to talk about that later. And in fact, your energy changed. I've never seen or been in these chamber music events. We've done about 10 already, with having this energy of you guys so unified and so relaxed. It's a very special experience for me. And it proves once again the effect that music can have on all of us, especially when the music is relevant and chosen in the right context. This is what we're going to do tonight. I've asked every single of our guest musicians today to choose a piece of music they like and explain why they like, and they're going to play it for us. Okay? Which is unique, because normally the orchestra players, they're told what to play. Go there, you play, and the conductor, and often actually, and that's something which makes me a little bit worried, is that in the industry of music, too often orchestras play all the time music that they only want to play for themselves, the conductors for themselves, the pianists for themselves, and somehow the audience is detached. Thank God in Miami it's different, and I've been somehow forced to reach out to you guys, to our community, by breaking these rules and playing music that actually reflects what Miami is, and is very varied. So, going back to them, it's very special that they can actually play something they like to you, and I will then make it in the context of what I think gravitational waves have to do with music. So, we have 5 different pieces. Let's start with Romel. Romel, what did you choose?
I chose the Thais from Massenet. It's called Meditation from Thais. And I chose it because it's a piece that has helped me through many years in all senses of my life. To fall in love, to relax, to get, relax from being angry, to get mad at something and relax with the violin and not, get mad with some person, to kind of like drain everything through the music and my violin. And of course, it was a very special point in my life where I was living in the United States and my dad paid a ticket for me to go play at my mom's graduation for a surprise. And we organized a quintet to play Thais, and she didn't know I was there. So it kind of marked a special moment in my life as a gift to my mother.
And also, as a violinist, Romel is the assistant concertmaster of the main Symphony Orchestra. In other words, in orchestra terms, is the second man on board in the violin section. He has held this title for quite a while now, apart from the fact that he's part of our production team as well. In fact, all of them. Tarcisio, who is our principal second, Paola is also production team, and Luis David. And Evgenia is the principal cello. So the very fact that you are a violin player and a solo violin player, also, of course, you're connected with that piece, because that piece was written originally for the violin?
For violin, yes. It's an intermezzo from an opera.
Exactly, from Thais. It's a meditation that suddenly happens in the opera, right? Okay. Well, so let's hear it all. It's not very long, and then you're going to show us two places that really connected you with the piece, shall we? Thank you.
The whole piece first, right?
Yes, please. Thank you, Romel. Very special indeed, and I loved it. Tell me, what is the favorite part of these musicals, or rather, what is the part that you feel is the essence of the music?
Well, I think you would all agree is that very first melody, like that. I don't know if you noticed, I played it forte, like a normal sound, and then I play like an echo. So you kind of think back to your actions, think back to the past, think back to something, kind of remembrance. So that very first melody from right before it relieves to the chord. So the first
Can you do it again?
Yeah. So we're not going to play the downbeat of 6. So we're going to cut on the upbeat of 5, right? The last beat of 5. So we're going to play the beginning to the 4th beat of 5th bar.
And we missed the downbeat. Yes. Yeah, play it again with the downbeat, please. Thank you. Wow. What that is really, really physical gravity, right? If he doesn't play the downbeat, you're over there. You need to go down, right? Exactly, Kenneth, is the resolution. So you can argue I have a lot of eminent people here. We have Professor Orlando García from FIU. He could give us a full lecture on it and agree or disagree on certain of this concept. But what I'm sure we all would agree is that the tension and relaxation is what really is all about music. I mean, and that's why music exists. You have a common chord, C major, right? And the dominant of it, which is G, and resolves again in C major. Sorry. I did, Romel did. See, but what? Listen to the two notes. This is part of the two chords. This note is part of the G, and this is, of course, the solution on C. So, and those two, the dissonance and the resolution, is what all music is about. It's like, I insist, it's like Hollywood. The drama, the theater, you would never be able to have a story if you only have good people. You need the bad ones too. The good and the bad people to have the tension. You have tension and you have relaxation, okay? And that is gravitational, all through. So let's hear more. Paola, you chose? Why did you choose Borjak? You like the composer?
Yeah, because when I started playing the bass, I remember playing one of the symphonies, the New World. I think it was like my fifth concert with the orchestra. And in that moment, with that music, that's when I really knew that I wanted to do this for my entire life. So I'm really linked to that composer. He's like really energetic, and I like that kind of music.
And what
It makes me feel like alive.
And what from Borjak that you want to play
The
today?
quintet, because we want to play together, it's a scherzo, which is
From?
from the G major quintet. It's the second movement. So I wanted to play, if we can play it all, but then I have that little part that I really like.
Show us first the little part that you like.
Okay.
Let's let us see, right? Do you prefer microphone? Microphone, okay. What I like about this example is this isolated doesn't mean anything, right? Now when we hear it in the context, it makes all the difference. But again, it's a vital part of the music because again, the tension that it makes. And I also like the fact that it's a good contrast, or rather a big contrast to Thais. So let's play from the beginning. You're going to just play the scherzo of the quintet, right? Fabulous. Thank you. Now let's hear the bit again, the one that you like best, and it will sound totally different now. Thank you. You see? Now here we spoke about harmonic tension. Remember when I was telling you the good and the bad here? Yeah? And here we had harmonic tension and rhythmic tension, which makes, again, the drive and makes the contrast. And in fact, it's what triggers the brain to be alert. Otherwise, we would have sleep over it. Sure. Because it's that information that we receive, and it has also to do with the music for Saha, which was played at the beginning and explained later. But now, I'd like to go into have someone who really knows about gravitational waves, an astrophysicist. It's called Konstantin Batygin. He's a member of Genius 100. He's going to be with us on March 14th to play the electric guitar. He's also a very strong, funky guitar player. He discovered Planet 9. Planet 9 is the 9th planet in our solar system, which actually we cannot see, but it's there. Yes, indeed. And he proved that the planet exists, and he received, how many awards and recognitions for that very fact. And he keeps, of course, lecturing and talking about it. And so I was very excited when I told him that in his concert, March 14th, we were going to kind of talk about gravitational waves as the center of it. In fact, we have a group from Genius 100. Aaron Davidson is here. I saw Aaron. There he is. He's part of the organization of Genius, part of also of our advisory board. We also have other members of our board here, accompanied with Iran Sakan, Ali, Michelle, Beatriz, and Nora. And of course, Ali, as you see it in the playbill, is being the sponsor for tonight's concert. Thank you, Ali. Thank you so much. We also have Alberto Sleisinger, who is one of our composers. He's, in fact, our executive advisor for special events, but he also composed the music for La Reina del Sur, who got recognition and prize for the Miami Symphony. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you. Together with Tarcisio Barreto, who did the orchestration, maestro. Yes. Okay, so only 4 minutes. You have to pay attention because it's very dense. I've heard it already twice, and I'd love to hear it 3 times because it's, it's a piece of work. Nonetheless, I think it's very important to hear it in the context what we're discussing today. But Konstantin Batygin, he did that especially for you guys this afternoon at 3 o'clock in California.
Gravity is one of the 4 fundamental forces of nature. The theory of gravity is called Einstein's theory of general relativity. General relativity is central to the understanding of frontier astrophysical phenomena, such as black holes, pulsars, quasars, the final destiny of stars, the Big Bang, and the universe itself. General relativity is also concerned with minute departures of the orbits of planets from the laws of Newton and is a necessary ingredient in the operation of GPS systems that we use every day. As one of the fundamental forces, gravity is central to the quest of a unified theory of all interactions. Indeed, many of the ideas of these final theories of everything originate in general relativity. In 1915, Einstein's quest for a relativistic theory of gravity resulted not in a new force law or a new theory of relativistic gravitational field, but a profound conceptual revolution in our views of space and time. Einstein saw that the experimental fact that all bodies fall within the same acceleration in a gravitational field led naturally to an understanding of gravity in terms of the curvature of a 4-dimensional union of space and time, space-time. Mass curves space-time in its vicinity, and the trajectories along which all masses fall are the straight lines in this curved space-time. In the preceding Newtonian theory, the sun exerts a gravitational force on the Earth, and the Earth moves around the sun in response to that force. In general relativity, the mass of the sun curves the surrounding space-time, and the Earth moves on a straight path in that curved space-time. In other words, gravity is geometry. General relativity predicts that ripples in space-time can propagate with the speed of light through otherwise empty space. These ripples are gravitational waves. Any mass in non-spherical, non-rectilinear motion produces gravitational waves, but gravitational waves are produced most copiously in events such as the coalescence of 2 compact stars, the mergers of massive black holes, or the Big Bang itself. Mass is in motion in many places in the universe, and this gravitational analog of charge is unscreened. The universe is, therefore, not dim in gravitational radiation. Indeed, coalescing black holes at the heart of pairs of merging galaxies could be the most energetic events in the universe, with most energy emitted in gravitational waves. The weak coupling to matter makes gravitational radiation difficult to detect. However, that same weak coupling is what makes detecting gravitational radiation so interesting. Once produced, little is absorbed. Therefore, gravitational waves could provide a new window on the universe that would enable us to see to the earliest moments of the Big Bang and to the heart of forming black holes. Gravitational radiation never directly received on Earth, has been detected by its effect on the orbits of bodies emitting this radiation. The waves can be detected by precise measurements of radial motion of masses produced as the ripple of space-time curvature passes by. But waves from the binary star system that is brightest in gravitational radiation at Earth produce a fractional change in the distance between two places that is on the order of only 1 part in 10 with 20 zeros after it. That is a change smaller than an atom for the 5 million kilometer size of the largest gravitational wave detectors in space contemplated at this time. As big as the experimental challenge is, detectors now are under construction on the surface of the Earth and under study for space that will make gravitational wave astronomy a realistic possibility and indeed a remarkable endeavor in the 21st century.
Thank you. Thank you, Konstantin. So, any questions, by the way, so far? No? Not yet? Okay. I'd like to go into something similar but different, and that is non-classical music. And that is a piece that was written some time ago by a young Venezuelan composer who is here now. He's a guitarist. And he wrote it just like that. And he became extremely famous, and he sold about 30,000 copies. And it's a huge, success. So I'd like Aureo Puerta Carreño to come over. We're very lucky to have you here. Yeah. Make yourself comfortable. Aureo sent me an email about 2 months ago telling me that he wanted me to listen to this music. And he didn't know I was even going to answer his email, which of course I did, because I found the music very important, regardless actually, because I must say that I'm part of Genius 100 organization, not because I belong to any of these genius guys, which are real genius, but because they found that we were doing something different in Miami with the orchestra, and it was programming different music and supporting new talent. Basically, that was what really struck them as something interesting, and supporting me in every possible way. Aureo is a very good example. Get your guitar out of there, please.
Hi, how are you? 2 years ago, and now, I believe that God always tells us the right time to do the things. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to do this in English, but because I never practiced, so I have to practice now.
You mean the guitar or in the English, or both?
Both.
Good. We're going to play this piece again on March 14th, but this time it's going to be an arrangement that Maestro Tarcisio Barreto has done for the orchestra. Piano and harp. We're playing on strings. We're playing on Friday the 13th at the Palm Court, then on the 14th Saturday at the Moore Building, and Sunday the 15th at the Botanical Gardens. So it's going to be really something. And it's called Canción para ti, a song for you.
Song for you.
For whom?
For my girlfriend, that is right there.
Oh, there you are. Good. Lucky girl.
The weather is a little bit cold, so my guitar sounds getting better. Thank you.
I must say you're very brave, Aureo, to not only to write it but to play it. But actually, many people are playing your music now. A very famous guitar player, which his name is?
Well, it's like the best classical guitar in history. It's like saying, I don't know, Rostropovich or Heifetz is like the best. Look, 1 month ago, I was nobody, for real. And now I have a name, my dreams are getting, real. And this is just a big dream. And his name is David Russell. Wow. David Russell.
But it is very interesting, though, the fact that some music can suddenly become very, very, very famous and popular. And there are really no reasons, explainable reasons in any event, to understand why. But you have some kind of a secret because you compose with geometry.
Yes.
You have a system of composition.
Yes.
And did you think that is also in this piece?
Yes, because look, all music is math. We can say that. Do you want me to grab this? Yes.
No, I don't.
Okay. So, look, music is 100% math, and we can say that math is 100% music. I always like to think that music and math has something in common, for not saying like it's, everything is common, but in the result, when you listen to a song, you at the end you will be like very happy, and at the end you will be like sad, or with a lot of motivation. But the problem is that we are losing the process because the math we only do like this. 2 + 2, 4. That's it, right? But where is the process? Where is the process of that? And so I have a method, okay? That is like how do you say in grilla, like a matrix of hexagons, okay? Our music has 12 sounds, okay? And with the hexagon, it is. If you put the chromatic scale, okay, this is super hard to explain, okay, but I'm gonna try my best, okay? If you put the chromatic scale on this matrix in a pattern, a geometry pattern, okay, you will find first all the symmetrical scales. The first symmetrical scale is the chromatic, okay, and then we will have the whole tone, okay, that is the hexacordal in Spanish, okay, and then we saw the diminished, and then the augmented, and then where the really music it comes through, that is the cycle of 5th and 4th, okay. Right there is where music, the music that we like, born, right there. I told you, it's really hard to explain, but
if I may interfere now, I totally agree with you. In fact, my music is also based on mathematics. However, if we don't have the soul, you can do all the equations in the world, you can discover Planet 9 and back, and still the music will have that connection, right?
That is
so it's a combination of both.
It's a combination of both because look, music can math can explain every pattern that you create in your mind, right? But who creates the first pattern? Your soul, your heart, and with that little pattern that you create, you can manipulate it, and with math, and then the music goes like super big, like Beethoven, a lot of things. You see?
In fact, it's very particular that your name is Aureo. And your name is Aureo because your grandfather was born on Santa Aurea.
Santa Aurea, yes.
Of course, but he had to be called Aureo, no Aurea, right? And but Aureo is a basics of mathematical formulas that are related to harmony and balance, and that's very, very strange.
I wasn't prepared for that. I think it's just coincidence.
So you were not aware of it necessarily at the beginning when you did geometry? No.
No, just all this started because one day I was writing music, but I didn't have, and how do you say, paper with the staff, right? So the only thing that I had at that time was, this paper where you write math. How do you call it? Quadricula, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I started writing my music there, and I saw something really interesting. When I took the notes, and how do you say, obliquo, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Obliquo.
Yeah, obliquo, like
Diagonal,
yeah, that one.
yes.
I saw that was a chord. So that diagonal, I took it back and put it like this, vertical, and I played each diagonal again, and I did that like crazy, like, I'm not going to lie you, like 200 times, and I never took the beginning, right? So I got like crazy because the square didn't work, right? So one day I was, at my work, and the hexagon came to my mind. And with the hexagon, we can explain the Occidental music that has 12 sounds, okay?
Western music.
Thank you. Okay, that one. Okay, and if you want to know more about this, because look, with the hexagon, you cannot explain all the music because the music can be divided millions of, it's infinitive, right? But if we want to see the music and that we can control it in a system, the hexagon works amazing. And if you want to learn more about this, I created a hashtag in Instagram that is called the secret pattern of music, okay? So,
But the point is, though, that as a listeners, we don't want to know this. We don't care about this. We only care if the music gets to us
yeah,
or
but
not.
once
Right?
you learn the process, you start listening better. Yeah, it's something amazing. Look, I do this now, and I got impressed because this is the middle of the music. Yeah, the fourth augmented. So it's something amazing. It's like, imagine the Mona Lisa, right? The Mona Lisa is super ugly, I have to say. Yeah, but if you pay attention to her, it's a perfection. It's a perfection everywhere. So when you pay attention to the process, the first thing that I was telling you, the process is the real beauty of everything.
No, and I don't argue with that. In fact, the very process of this evening is to talk about that, and we're all interested in it. However, the whole idea of music is that you don't need to explain it to work. It's like a movie. You don't need to explain a movie, although many people do explain it to enjoy it and to like it. Anyway, let's move forward because I myself, I was saying before, I totally agree. And I want to explain because there is the real reason of the hexagon and all these is that our body, all our mind connects with it subconsciously. It's not that we are actually, oh yes, really, the hexagon, the geometry. No. It doesn't work that way. It works because we have a structure, a cellular structure that is responding to that. If you go to, what's it, Hemingway's town, I always forget the name. You go to Key West. You go to the poorest bar in Key West. Only 3 people half drunk there, okay? And you see her at the wall, and it's a hat hanging or a picture hanging on that wall. 99% of the probability is that nail in that wall is in a place where connected mathematically to our brain. And I will explain that in a moment. That's called Fibonacci series or sexual audio again. And we are all made with it. Our DNA is, this all spirals. Our DNA is a spiral. All cells are totally made with that. That's why your geometry works, because your brain suddenly becomes to stick with it without knowing. And then, of course, You can go either to relaxation and alpha, like with Saha music, like your music, or you go into rapturous nervousness if the music takes you there. But it's always a connection with that. And that, again, is connected with gravitational waves. Why? Because, for example, the section Aureo, the Fibonacci, is built on one, is sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. What is this? 1 and 2 is 3, 2 and 3 is 5, 5 and 8 is 13, 8 and 13 is 21, 13 and 21 is 34. That is the sequence of the spiral. You can put these numbers here. In this case, it would be 1, well, I'm not a very good drawing, but it should be 1, 2, 3, 5, and so on. And when that is the nail on the wall. When you receive that in a given time, either could be a movie, could be a commercial on TV, or music, then your brain, whether you like it or not, connects subconsciously with it. It's connected. You cannot avoid it. And that is, to me, also a lot to do with gravitational waves too, because there is tension between the two. Between this 3 and this 5, the 5 and 8, there's tension there, mathematical tension. And of course, that can be taken to geometry as well, if you think of it in 3 dimensions. We're going to talk about that again on March 14th. We're going to play also the Saha CD for you there. And I want to insist for you come on the other side of the playbill. You have the concert of the Mystery of Genius. Okay? One thing which is very important about all this blah, 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 is that music is very much connected to health in many, many, many ways. And we know, so we feel better when we hear music, or it depends on which music, of course, and it's also a healing factor. Music can be healing. So much that at the moment, there are many experiments that have proved that. Here I have a friend, Teresa Zerpa, who belongs to an organization called Bioacoustics. Teresa, where are you? Here we are. Teresa, can you come over? We don't have much time, Teresa, but you can explain to us. The discovery is that they have experimented with one note to cure a specific illness.
Okay, so they found out that they took vocal prints of different people. The people who had the same disease presented the same vocal print. So what they did is that they took the vocal print and it's like, you know the way the vocal print goes. And there is all the information of your body, like holographically is there. So you can know what elements are high or low in any kind of, like in your muscular, or it's enzymes, or if it's vitamin, anything. You can just see it in there, in the vocal print. So what they found out is, like, for example, somebody that has a cold, like they will show the same vocal print of all the people that had the same cold. So they will show that there's low in this and high in this, but it will be the same elements that were missing. It will be the same vitamins that were high or low. It will show the same things. And that was very interesting. And they started decoding and decoding everything. Like they came out to a point that they could decode an aspirin, for example. And they did this mathematically, because all these are mathematical codes. So they could decode the formula, or they call it frequency equivalence, really, of the aspirin. So if somebody needs an aspirin, he won't take the aspirin anymore. They will give him the frequency. And he would feel the pain go away. So that's the medicine of the future. They have been very successful with fibromyalgia, for all this kind of pains that sometimes are unexplainable. They have been able to cure them. So, and just using this mathematical patterns.
You told me that they have already discovered the sound for the coronavirus?
Okay, they discovered they could decode a music they composed. There was this person that got cured because of these frequencies. This person had the colon completely destroyed by Accutane. It's a medicine that they use for acne. So he was cured with these vibrations. They found out with his vocal print whatever was wrong with him, and they gave him the vibrations that would cure him. He would hear them twice a day, and he started feeling better and better and better. And so he wanted to give back. So he composed music that could destroy the barrier that the coronavirus had. The coronavirus hides with a barrier inside of your body. And when they played this music, and they could test it on the lab, they could see like this, I don't know how to call it. It's like something that covers the virus so it can be reproducing inside of your body. But when they played the music, this barrier broke, and the T cells could recognize it and attack him. Before they couldn't do that. So what he did is that he put this music available to everybody so they could become protected whenever the coronavirus came. This was done not for this coronavirus, it was done for another one. But now he's composing the music for this one.
Who is he?
Oh my God. I have a blank right now. You can go to the webpage of Bioacoustics, yeah. But actually the name is Sound Health Options. You go to that webpage, and right now they have this campaign, and of course you're gonna find everything that I'm talking to you about, and you're gonna see the music. You can obtain the music from that webpage, and of course the whole explanation and the other many things that they can do with it.
With bioacoustics, do you work with the solfeggio frequencies?
Yes. Well, actually, what happens is that all of the frequency equivalents are really musical notes. So, for example, if there's a girl who's mentally retarded, they will give her the frequency equivalents, which will be the notes that will balance her, would balance whatever was wrong in her vocal print. And so she would listen to those notes twice a day, and she would start getting better. So they're doing really miracles. And I truly believe that that's the medicine of the future. It's gonna be waves. Oh, no, you go to Sound Health Options. That will be the webpage. Oh, for 30 years. Yeah. And of course, it hasn't been very well accepted, and for many reasons that you all know. And so this is a pioneer. Her name is Sherry Edwards. She was the one who discovered it. She was born with a very special talent. She could hear the sound of people. She said that everybody has a sound, everything has a sound, and she could hear it. She could hear it, and she would get close to you, and she would sing your sound, and you would feel better immediately. That was your sound. The thing is that she couldn't explain it. It was just like a gift. And so she just developed this whole, she's in Ohio, Albany, Ohio. So she has a big group of people working with her.
But you know, Teresa, we also have a sound inside, all of us.
Yes.
The thing is that we might not be aware of it. I don't know if my musicians, do you hear a sound inside your brain? Tarcisio, you do. I do, very much, all the time. And it's nothing to do with, what do you call it, tinnitus? What is it? No. Nothing to do with that. In fact, it's a rather pleasant sound. And I discovered Actually, I was with my wife, Athena, in Mexico this summer. And I was not working. She was working. I was just taking care of the dog. And so I had plenty of free time. And I discovered that the sound I was hearing, and I knew I was hearing, is not actually imagination. It's produced in my brain. It's physical. Because I could actually remember, I don't know, Massenet, Thais in my brain. But the sound I hear is there. And it's interesting because if you connect yourself without sound, is in fact what this lady was saying. Everybody has a sound, yes. And that is what really cures you, right?
Exactly, yeah. Everybody has a sound. You just have to discover it. The thing is that she went a step further because she found out all the many notes to integrate in you to make you feel better. But everybody has a sound. If you just go home and you close your eyes and you relax and you're really very, I would say, present at that moment, you can hear it. And that's your sound. I don't know if you have seen babies that they start, you know, when they feel bad, that they start singing or humming something. They're humming that song or that sound to themselves.
Exactly.
To cure themselves.
Indeed, heartbeat too, absolutely. You can, in fact, there is a whole technique called Tibetan pulsing, which is based in your heart. And it's based on the fact that we have two kinds of energy in our body, an electric energy and a magnetic energy. We, of course, are always connected, unbalanced with electric energy, and don't care much about the magnetic, which is the heart. And this Buddhist Asian technique called Tibetan pulsing connects you with it. Athena and I did some very interesting courses about it, and we really, you know, it was such a discovery. In fact, I learned that when one of the musicians of the orchestra makes a fantastic solo, beautiful, he or she is connected with the magnetic energy, which is the heart, and not the electric, which is all the thing.
That's exactly what happened when they played the Massenet.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And Reiki, which Reiki imposition of hands, it all came. It evolved because when thousands of years ago, when someone got hurt, we still do it. You have a pain, you put your hand here, or have a pain here, and then that developed into a technique which somebody else puts their hand, a healer, in your pain, doesn't have to touch you, to make it socially, acceptable, and it cures you, or at least the pain goes. Also, there is something I call handshake, which comes from Reiki to me, and that is if you put your two hands like that, do that, like this, the two thumbs are like this, and you touch with your fingers your hand like that. The right pressure is important. There's a point if you give the right pressure that you feel energy throughout your body, at least from here to here. Can you feel it? And that relaxes you. You can focus when you are, in bed, you're not asleep, 3 in the morning, do that. Now, once you somehow master that, to call it one way, then you put your thumbs like this. And that energy is even stronger. It's like if you had more control of the accelerator. And then, in a few hours, days, or months, you decide you do this. Like that. And if you have experienced the two previous ones, this can be extremely, extremely strong. And that's healing too. I call it handshake, and it's so beautiful. And of course, if you want to go further, you do it with a friend. Anyway, I think you need to hear more music now. We talked a lot, did we not? Okay. By the way, I want to thank Steinway, Kenneth Silva, who is here from Steinway, Miami. Steinway is the piano of the Miami Symphony, yes, en la agencia. And they kindly always lend us the piano. This piano is here all the time, thanks to them. So, thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Aureo. Thank you. You're gonna listen to Aureo also on the 13th, the 14th, and 15th of. We cannot extend too long, but let's listen. Luis David playing viola there. He's also a conductor. Yes. Yes. He's my assistant conductor of the Miami Symphony. Maestro Tarcisio Barreto is also a conductor, but he's in the role of assistant conductor of the orchestra. And of course, no doubt, the music he chose is from a symphony, not from a quintet or quartet. He chose a special version of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, the slow movement, for them. And we cannot play it all. Why don't we play the part that you like best, that we discussed? Was it?
You wanted me to talk about it?
Yes, also.
Well, what I really like about this piece is all the emotional weight it has. Is you can feel how the harmony grows and all the tension, and suddenly everything disappears and all the harmony, all the tension is released, and then it starts again. It starts moving again, and it grows, and then suddenly relax again. And that gives you emotion all the time. And also, this one was the first symphony I actually played in a big symphony orchestra when I was 13 years old. So it's really something personal that I really like the composer, really like Tchaikovsky, and really like harmony, and really like how the way the emotions move to up and down. So can we play it? Sure. 20, yeah.
Thank you, Luis David. Bravo, bravo. Isn't it funny that all the music that we've been playing and chosen for you today is all romantic? It's all from the heart? It's not odd. I mean, that, again, has a reason for it. It's healing, and also it's, why didn't you choose Stravinsky, The Rite of Spring? I mean, because maybe...
I think that Stravinsky is fun. It's really nice to hear that, and you can enjoy the moment. But this is something personal. It's not about anything else. It's something about you have inside.
Absolutely. You see? Absolutely. Yes. And Evgenia, our principal cellist, has chosen music by Elgar, one of my favorite composers, in fact. Salud d'Amour by Elgar. That is an original version, more or less, because it was written for string quintet or quartet? I don't remember because I done only the orchestral version.
No, we have a quintet version.
Yeah, it's a quintet.
That okay, but originally I think it was not a quintet. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. So let's hear. Yes.
So I chose this beautiful piece just because it's kind of, for me, I associate it as myself. And it was very, very special piece for the Elgar because he dedicated this Salute d'amour to his fiancée as a gift for their engagement. So this is, but for me it's special because I found this piece when I was in an interesting situation when a young girl and my heart was broken, and I found this piece and I played it and it made me feel so I believe in love again. So, and because this piece is full of love, this is every single episode. And maestro asked me like, "What's your favorite part?" And I'm like, "I don't know. This is everything is my favorite part," because it's such a short piece, but it concentrates so many emotions, and they're so different because love is different. Yes. So now my heart is not broken, but I still play this piece, and I play it a lot for my 7-month-old child. And he can, he's just 7 months, but he can recognize this song and smile back to me. This is pure love. Okay, so we're gonna play the little episode. Okay. Yeah, from the beat. So the small episode I chose, this is the culmination of the piece. You can see there's a concentration of all the feelings, and it's very, it's just very beautiful.
Before you begin, can you listen to yourself inside? Can you hear something inside? Okay, after they finish play, you'll hear yourself again, and you see the difference, if there is any difference. Thank you. Thank you. Your applause stopped you hearing it. Oh, never mind, you'll do it again. But you know, Evgenia, this is like what happened with the Dvorak and Paola's example. Isolated, that doesn't mean much to us. Let's hear it from the beginning. Thank you, Evgenia. Thank you. Okay. So we have two more pieces only. We're going to play what Maestro Tarcisio Barreto chose, which is, would you believe? Who's the composer? Charlie Chaplin. Smile. Maestro couldn't find an arrangement for this group, so he made one himself for tonight. And Yaritz is joining us on the flute. Yaritz, thank you. Thank you, Tarcisio. Tell us, why did you choose this music?
First of all, this is a marvelous piece that I never believed that Charles Chaplin was such an amazing composer. And it you know, usually we did many times, you know, went to the CD record that times and bought a lot of music, a lot of CDs, and I found this CD from Natalie Cole. And when I heard the piece, I was really, I enjoyed the piece. It's very simple piece, you know, 4 notes, 6 notes, and he created a marvelous piece of art. Only 6, 7 notes, just only 7, and a scale. 3 notes going up, 3 notes going down, and that's all.
Interesting, because I felt the response from the audience in this case to be uneven. That is to say that I felt some people loved what you were playing and some people said, why did you choose that music and so forth. I get this sensitivity because when I conduct, I feel it from the orchestra and also feel it from the audience. So there's nothing wrong. I'm not criticizing, but I'm just pointing on something which is interesting that we all do, which is judging. And we judge all the time. And that takes a lot of energy away from us when you cannot avoid it. We in music cannot avoid it, sadly, because we are playing, and so how am I playing, how my colleague is playing. But when we're in normal life, we can avoid it. We can avoid saying, look at her, she's so ugly. And that car, how can he drive that awful car? Judging all the time, right? And I put you to a test. Try from here till tomorrow, or maybe not too far away, till you go to bed tonight, to see how many times can you avoid judging. It's very interesting. And I'm saying this because you, as an audience, of course you're entitled to judge, but you enjoy it most when you're all together, hearing something together. You're not maybe conscious of it, but it's when you really get, wow. Okay? Nothing wrong. I love the piece, Tarcisio. I wasn't judging it. But anyway.
I love to.
Yes, exactly.
Don't worry.
But I felt the unevenness here. Okay? So I think to finish off the evening, I want to invite to sing someone who I've met just recently, again, another new talent whom I was unaware that it existed here. And she's a writer. She writes her own music and sings her own music. May Kravitz.
Like scientifically until recently, but music was my escape. And whenever I wrote music or recorded music, I felt like I was in a different dimension, like I was non-existent. And then I recently discovered that when I do it, I actually non-existent because I'm completely existing in a different dimension in the quantum field, in the field of all possibilities, and that's what music to me is. So I'm relating to everything that you guys say, and it's just so, the way they play is so divine, like my heart. So, all right, so this is a completely improvised jam session here. This is a song I wrote a few years ago, and this song saved me. So it's called.
It's one of your favorite songs, right?
Yeah, it's called Courageous.
And we have a lot of courage to play that like this.
This is a dream come true, by the way. Growing up, I wanted to be an opera singer, and my dream was to play with an orchestra, and it's amazing how the universe works. I get to sing with an orchestra, and like that. I'm so honored. Yeah. What? Can I get some reverb?
Maestro, diga.
Who starts?
Okay.
It's the dawn of a new day, they're fading the clouds. The sun is showing me some love. The tears are drying, and I talk to myself again. And I hear myself saying, I'm courageous. outrageous, was broken to pieces, now I'm catching up again. Courageous, anxious, was lost in space, but now I'm keen, I'm back again. Keen, I'm back again. It's the sound of a new world, the color is red, and my old smile revealed upon my face. I start to feel like the pain is leaving, instead I'll see the light again. Courageous, outrageous, was broken to pieces, now I'm holding on again. Courageous, anxious, I see the earth move around, the sky fall down, the stars shine, 'cause I am back again. I see the earth move around, the sky fall down, the stars shine, 'cause I am back again. I am back again. I am back again. It's the dawn of a new day, the fading clouds. The sun has shown me some love. The tears are drying, and I talk to myself again. And I hear myself saying, I'm courageous, outrageous, was broken to pieces, now I'm holding on again. Courageous, anxious, to fall back on earth and link the ends again. Keen, I'm back again.
Thank you, May. Thank you, May. She's going to sing 2 more songs apart from this one on Saturday, and this one, only this one on Friday. Okay? Our next German music event is going to be here on the 23rd of April, where we're going to have an exhibition with well-known actor from Telemundo, Matias Novoa, who is also, and Isabela Castillo. They are actors together with Athena in El Señor de los Cielos, but Matias is an amazing photographer, so we're going to have this exhibition. Isabela is going to sing, she's an amazing singer, and we're going to have the same group playing music for you guys. Thank you, maestros. Thank you, man. Thank you.